Just 1 second. I'm going to put the count on. Hi, menu. You going to do the intro? I cannot find the countdown.
Oh, I mean, we don't need the countdown now since it's already 1 o'clock.
So, welcome to the Heart and Harmony Lounge. I like the new name.
Yeah, it's great. So,
And I got the show right this time, so I'm already doing better. I was like, I'm going to get kicked off from my job as co-host if I don't say the right name of the show,
yeah.
right?
So cool. So yeah, we're hosts Veganology JJ, and I'm Lee Dialoff James. So what's going on? What's
Not too much. I was just running around doing kitty duties. We were discussing our little cats. I was talking about how they love to watch me clean the litter box and make sure I'm doing a good job. And she's hungry and wants treats, so she's probably going to be yelling. I don't have any of her treats until I go to the store later. So
I don't
um,
think you had any last time either, or was it the time before that?
I don't remember. I think last time I was giving, maybe she wanted them, but I didn't have them in this room with me. But at least they
Oh,
were here, so that's a whole nother thing. I think I got up and actually got them at some point during the. Was that a meeting we did? Maybe it wasn't the live, but I remember what you're talking about too. She's
yeah,
always
there's something I'm not quite sure. Yeah, maybe it was a meeting.
these are have catnip in the treats, so I think that's why. Maybe
I'll
she.
do catnip treats for Mookie every so often. I won't give him catnip because he gets too crazy on it and will attack everything, including me. And when I had the other cats before they passed away, he would attack them. So
Oh wow, he's got a different reaction. I think it's just like humans on different foods or drugs, right? they
yeah. Well, it can either make you. Most cats, it makes it super chilled and lovey, but some of them, it's kind of like being on crack or something like that. Like they go
Mhm.
crazy with it and stuff like that. So yeah, and still Instagram's still a big pain in the butt. Oh well, people want to listen to it, they can. I guess they won't be able to see it. At some point, I gotta talk to Restream and see what's going on with the Instagram stuff. So but
Yeah,
that's cool. So are
sure.
you done with work for the day?
Yeah, like I'm off on Mondays from my regular job, so I have two coaching sessions that I do on Mondays, and then also I did the live with Paul Neeson earlier on the Vegan Knowledge channel, Amazing Transformation. So that was cool to hear from a 30-year kind of veteran in the health and wellness and raw food realm there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. So how'd your weekend and everything go?
Oh, went pretty good. Pretty good. I just worked Saturday, so it was nice to have Sunday kind of as a day to do some content creation, made some posts, sent out some emails and to the Transformers Club and really just you know, just had a moment. Sometimes nice to just take a moment to breathe like that, right? Just to not have
Yeah,
anything to do.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I keep trying to have a day that I don't do. I mean, I'm off, but I need to have a day I don't do any social media or anything, and just have a veg out day. But every day I end up like hopping on doing that if I'm not doing something else. So I think I'm gonna try
Right.
that. Have a just turn my brain off for the whole day type thing. So, but
Sometimes
yeah, I was.
some of us that's harder than actually working. Like I think you always seem on the go like me. So
Well, I mean, this week I've been. I mean, I get a lot of free time. I didn't go anywhere, so I was able to watch like some movies and stuff. But I'll still like screw like I'll think I'm just gonna look up one thing and I'll get just kind of going down track and stuff like that. And then by the time I'm wanting to watch a movie or something, my brain's going 80 miles an hour. I keep saying, well, tomorrow I'm just going to post something and wake up and just have a, that, or I need to either go camping or something to get out of the area. But as far as that goes, so, cause I also didn't get anything done cause I've been wanting to do, work on what's it called? Cape cut, cop cut, whatever. Basically I need to get some YouTube videos up and stuff like that. So
Yeah. And are you gonna put that interview back that you did before, like on the new channel, the one with the Jane Nunn?
yes. I need to figure out how to do the thumbnail and stuff like that. Like I've been getting too frustrated with it. So I need to put that up and I need to do an interview with you. And yeah, I was gonna take off this week though. I do think I'll stick around. I'm actually gonna work on editing. I need to figure out my recording stuff like that because I want to do actual videos. I got like 12 different people that I can go to 3 different like sanctuaries to go do like little videos with that they want me to come and chat with, and some other stuff that I want to do, some in-person stuff. I went to the Bellingham Veg Fest on Sunday. That I made a lot of
Oh
connections.
yeah.
So that was pretty cool. So yes, I need to. For some reason, like technology or just this type of stuff really takes a lot out of me mentally. As far
Hmm.
as that, and it makes me eat. As far as we're talking about junk food, but that makes me like if I like physically do a lot of work, I'm pretty good. But mental stress takes a lot more out of me than physical stress does for some reason. So I get very frustrated with uh, technology as far as that, because to me it should work very perfectly, very easy. I'm very patient with people, animals, anything sentient and living. As far
Not
as
the
that,
technology.
no, and I've always been that way as far as that. I'm like, well, the whole point of it is to make my life more convenient. So, but I've kind of gotten the Instagram, Facebook, TikTok down that I can post things pretty quickly, but I
Hmm.
haven't. But I need to now work on the videos and like editing stuff like that. So yeah. So but yeah, basically yeah, I need to get that Jane video up there now that I actually finally have a YouTube channel, and I need to get the Heart and Harmony videos up there. Like I need to. I downloaded it to my computer, but I need to edit it so it doesn't have all that timing stuff in the
Oh
beginning of
yeah,
it.
I forgot to do that. Remind me after.
Well,
I can do it for
you
you.
can do that too, but I also need to edit it different than yours because my understanding is probably won't make a big deal for smaller channels, but if the exact same content goes up, it can flag you. So
Oh,
they
okay.
say if you put the same thing up just to edit it a little bit different, which I can cut it or have a different theme song in it. Like it doesn't even have to be that big of a deal, but yeah, so
That way
it's
it
a
doesn't look like an exact copy.
exact copy, which in general shouldn't matter, like since it's the same people,
Right.
but because everything's done by like AI or like quickly, they might just if they see the same thing, I guess they just might quickly, uh, you know, dismiss it as someone trying to rip off. Like basically, it probably hit me harder, hit you because it's on your channel, and it might look like I'm just stealing your content. It's basically the key to
Feeling
it.
your own show.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but they don't take the time to really look at that and stuff. So
Right.
that's kind of my goal this weekend. Yeah, and to really get on my like I said, I want to get into like healthy eating and everything like that, but definitely work on my microbiome. And I mean, I got a bunch of fruit and stuff, and really just food prepping and stuff. Like I still need to. My house is just chaos as far as that goes. Like I want to get opened up and then get everything covered so I can start cooking and maybe do some videos that way and stuff like that. So, but the Veg Fest thing was really cool because there's a lot of people I'm really excited about going and meeting, doing some camp out and stuff like that. But I also need to figure out how to work the recording because I don't want to do like a crappy go there, do all this stuff to talk them up, and then the video be awful. Like, I don't do good film
Right. What is
that.
it like? Is it just once a year that they do that, or how did that work out?
Oh, the bill. First time I really know about it. That's a good question. I think maybe once a year. Like, I mean, Veg Fest is a thing they do everywhere. Like Kathy, or not Kathy. What? Where did I get the word Kathy from? Oh, I worked for is Kathy. Like, no, Kathy Hester. I was right. Man, I know too many Kathys. But like they were
Mhm.
talking about their North Carolina
Also,
Veg
my
Fest.
mom's name is Kathy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But Veg Fest, I think, is just a word they use everywhere. Like there's a Seattle Veg Fest, there's a Chicago Veg Fest and stuff. Bellingham's a HMQ is a smaller. You probably don't know what Bellingham is, do you?
No.
Like, it's like 50 minutes from here. It's kind of a college town, but it's kind of like the mini Seattle, I would almost say, of Washington State. It's closer to Bellingham. As
Hmm.
like that goes. So it was a much smaller one. It wasn't like huge or anything. And honestly, it was just some Facebook people had it up, and I was like, I usually work Sunday, but I was off. I worked Thursday instead, and up Sunday. So I was like, you know what? I really wasn't wanting to get out and go, but I was like, you know what, I need to go make connections to do some
Mhm.
interviews because I want to meet some animal sanctuaries and stuff like that. So yeah, but it was really cool. Get us as far as that goes, and I guess we can get into that later. So I kind of went on a random chatting about myself there. So yeah,
Well, that's
uh,
good though. I think for those people that haven't been, I've never been to a veg fest, and I understand like just from seeing some people online going. Um, is it Simit? I might be saying the name wrong. There's a channel I watch,
yeah, so yeah, that's
Simit
I'm like,
Fitness or something.
yeah, yeah,
On
he's only like an
YouTube.
hour from me. He lives in the same town as Apple, I believe, actually.
Oh, okay. I saw his thing. Him and his girlfriend, I guess, were at a veg fest, and they were trying all the
Oh,
different food.
yeah, I don't know if they're at that one. They travel around, so it depends. Like the Chicago Veg Fest is like huge. Like when you see them on YouTube, they're huge. But I think every place there's probably hundreds of them as far as that. Like Bellingham Veg Fest is just like smaller, as far as that goes. It's kind of like a state, like fairgrounds and stuff. But like the city, it's like the Seattle ones. I'm sure huge. Chicago, I'm sure Maryland has them all over the
I've
place
never
too.
been to one or noticed it. No one's ever. I have to look into it. I might have to figure out how to get to
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Well, and that's where you would want to. Now, your book that you put out, is that just an ebook or is that got to be printed?
It's just an ebook right now.
Okay.
It
So
might
yeah,
not even be an ebook. It's just kind of like right now. It's in the like yeah. It's kind of an ebook because I have a cover for it, but I just basically put it out. The on a PDF right now.
oh, okay. Well, that or even with your channel and stuff, you could have your own booth and advertise. But basically, the Veg Fest is basically just everyone coming together, and they don't necessarily have to be a completely vegan company, but
Hmm.
everything serving there is vegan. Which so that's what's kind of cool. You can go around and get different food, and you don't have
Oh
to
yeah.
keep asking the question, "Is this vegan?" As far as
Right.
that,
Right.
yeah. Now, if you're like whole food, plant based, and like that, you'll have to ask those questions like that. But as far as a vegan, everything's vegan as far as that goes. I mean, they had like raw food snacks, they had that, they had but it's other stuff besides that type thing. So, in Bellingham, like I said, I was only there for like I went to every booth. I was only there for like 2.5 hours, and
Okay.
I'm kind of a chatty Cathy, so I chat
Mhm.
people up a lot. So, but
Is that where you met the people that you might be interviewing?
yeah, yeah, that's where the main reason. Yeah, like I said, there's I don't have all the names up here. Like one's out there in Bellevue. They do things with underprivileged people or people like that, helping with pet food stuff like that,
Hmm.
helping out like that. There's a rooster sanctuary as far as that, like yeah, different things. Yeah. And speaking of MQ, I need to talk to you. There's a person I found out here, Anna Cortis, sometime that she does similar things that MQ does with vegan compassion, like being over burnout and stuff like that. I thought might be a good connection, stuff like that. Yeah, and then of course there's like fresh tempeh makers, like make their own tempeh, not
Mm.
tempeh. As far as that, and pretty much every vegan restaurant has it up there. You can have samples, buy stuff, all plant based like things. And like I'm at one guy, I'm gonna do it like it's really cool. It's a shampoo and conditioner hair type thing, but it's all plant based type thing.
Oh
But he
no.
also does a lot. Every time you buy it, he takes a lot of plastic out of the ocean, so it's a very environment. So that aspect's cool. So I'm going to do that as far as that goes. I mean, there's the animal liberation booth there type thing. So yeah, I mean, it's basically just a fair festival fair for everything animal focus as far as that, and then another interview I'm going to do. It's about ranked voting. They're trying in Whatcom County, that's Bellingham. They're trying to get ranked voting, but that's something people are trying to get ranked voting, which would be great. The whole country would just go. I don't know if you know about ranked voting or
Mm-mm.
not. Well, that's why I need to do the video. So it's a
Right.
different style of voting, though. But what it is basically it's not always you have to vote for the extreme. It gives more people more options as far as that and how the voting would basically work out. Like if the top person didn't get as far as that, it's like
Instead of the electoral college type thing.
well, it would kind of knock out the electoral call. Actually, I'm not gonna get into it. I need to do the interview with them to have it
Hmm.
because I'm just saying it wrong. And I don't want to give you misinformation type thing. So, but yeah, it's anti-electoral college, but it's also like how in Alaska they had that one lady, that Native woman, end up winning over Sarah Palin. Like it was a big
Hmm.
uproar type thing. That was because they did ranked voting. But ranked voting basically makes it easier for different groups as far as that goes. So it's not like right now how voting's set up. It's kind of like you have to, let's just say presidents as far as that. Like you pretty much have to either vote for like Trump or Kamala as far as
Mhm.
that. If there was like say the Green Party in there, how it is a lot of times you're not going to vote for like I'm Green Party, but I wouldn't vote Green Party because there's no way they're going to get the president. And it's
Right.
just away from the Democrats, which I'd much rather have Kamala over like the Green Party type thing. Ring voting would have it so it's more like even if Kamala didn't get all of it, it wouldn't automatically go to the. It's not like either one extreme or the other extreme. It makes it so it's easier for someone in the middle to get voted type.
Oh, that
It's kind
makes
of the concept of it type thing. But yeah, it makes it easier playing field as far as that. It gives people more of a voice and stuff like that. So very generically, I'm probably saying it wrong as far as that. So that's why I like the
makes a
people
lot of sense.
doing the rank voting, like doing that. I'm gonna have an interview with her and talk about the importance of that type thing. So, but
That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. Like I'm in Skagit County, which is next to Whatcom. Bellingham's 40 minutes away. Whatcom County is going to rank voting as far as that goes. So, but yeah, if anyone else here knows about rank voting, chime in as far as that goes. So, but yeah, but yeah, you need to go to a Veg Fest just to get more clients and advertise type thing. Basically, Veg Fest is really also just business people meeting up, like vegan, as far as that goes. It's just intermingling type stuff to get your name out and stuff. That's why I say you could have like a booth there type thing and talk about your coaching and stuff like that as far as that goes. So I mean there's like chiropractor booths set up there as far as that. There's a few booths like that did dumplings and stuff, and they do a lot of vegan stuff and they don't have their vegan stuff there, and then you can like order. And the other thing is usually mostly local stuff as far as that within type thing. So but it's pretty cool type. It is fun. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. So I get more out on the whole vegan thing quite a bit, to be honest. So, but the fact that there's a lot of not volunteer, what's the word I'm looking for? Like say nonprofit, not just about whole food plant based, like stuff is cool to meet some level headed people and make some good connections there as far as that goes. So and a lot of good food too. Like I mean, I got myself a big piece of tiramisu as far as that to give a try. Vegan fudge as far as that goes, like everything you can try as far as the place I really wanted to try what it wasn't working for a second, but they had like the street corn, like the Mexican style.
Okay,
corn.
yeah.
The vegan style of that.
Yeah,
And
that was good.
so yeah, but yeah, look it up. I'm sure there's ones in your area as far as especially you're in Maryland, right? Yeah, I would think that's kind of I'm sure there's a lot of that going on around there.
I'll definitely check it out. I'll know next time when we come on. I'll figure out if there is one.
Yeah, I guess I would compare it to what Comic-Con is.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been to anything like that.
Well, it's kind of like every little town has their own Comic-Con, but then you have the big Comic-Con. But you see is like where Summit, he flew into the big ones. Like those are the ones like it's a 3-day thing. This is like a 5-hour, like very mini one type thing that I went to. So
that's what I was telling you about the like the raw food meetup thing that goes on, like the worldwide thing that they created. There's all sorts of little ones, but then there are some like LA.
Huge.
Like
yeah, exactly. This is Bellingham's a small one. It's just Seattle one.
Yeah, you went to a Veg Fest, didn't you? Is that where you went that time when you were telling me about the good food? I think she's been to the one in Georgia. Is that where? Yeah, I think so. Probably Atlanta has a big one, I would bet.
Oh yeah, I would assume so. Yeah.
But they're all in different times of the year and stuff, right? Like that's not just everybody has Veg Fest at a certain time.
Yeah. People just set up their own town. I think the word Veg Fest is just kind of used type thing. Like I don't think there's a nationwide all connected type thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, yeah. I mean, it's basically like a farmer's market, but it's all vegan as far as that goes. So yeah, as far as that, like I'm sure there's people that go to Veg Fest,
I'm gonna try to start going too. I know there's a farmer's market here, Berlin, which is probably like 10-15 minutes from me. I'm gonna try to start going over there because that sounds like a good spot to kind of not only make connections but see all the different like fresh local vegetables and stuff like that. We have a lot of like stands, like fruit stands and stuff you can go to, but I guess the market has it all in one place.
Yeah. Well, and that's what the Veg Fest is. It's just a bunch of stands, and everyone has their stands up, and you just go type thing as far as. But the cool thing is all like vegan as far as that goes. So yeah. And MQ said yes. I have a good food at the vegan Veg Fest. Oh, I had good food at the Veg Fest. Sorry, the big one is at the end of the.
Oh,
I
at
was
the end
considered
of
in
summer.
the end of the summer in Georgia. Yeah,
That's
I should
pretty
look
cool.
and see when the Seattle Veg Fest is.
Well, it's out actually end of summer right now.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was asking.
Maybe
But
they are all at the end of summer. No, I'm just kidding. But that's funny that you had yours and then there's a big one. So maybe one's coming up. I might be able to catch it. Well, I don't
yeah,
know
I
though.
would
It's
check
starting to
out.
get like into October here. I don't know. There's Oktoberfest. We have that here. That's kind of like a German type thing, I think.
What was I say? Is that the beer one? Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
I won't be going to that one. My beer drinking days are over.
Oktoberfest. So well, what's funny is the same time I live in a town called Anacortes, and this was Oyster Run, which is all the bikers come in, like people ride bikes and stuff, and it's a big thing.
Mhm.
So I went to Bellingham. I skipped that, which I'm never a big fan of the Oyster Run anyway. So, but yeah, but you would totally like it, you and Dawn, as far as that. And it's just a great place. I should have been more comfortable. I should have recorded some stuff and chatted with more people. So, but like I said, it made a lot of connections. So, MQ says she loves Oktoberfest. What kind of beer do you drink, MQ?
Lots of heavy food. I guess that was about the yeah, but tasty. And then I don't know why it came up like that. I guess she was doing the little face, but it came out like weird on the thing. It said face, your tongue out.
Well,
uh,
I mean, yeah, the Veg Fest, yeah, it had. I mean, they had some healthy stuff, but I mean, people are going there to have fun and stuff. So, but man, next time I got to pull out everything. Man, I had literally some of the best fudge I've had. Vegan fudge, like this peanut butter vegan fudge, is awesome. That Terminic, as far as that goes,
that
fudge.
sounds good.
So yeah, like some like seriously good stuff. Like
What makes fudge like not vegan? I'm just curious because you're
oh,
more
because the butter usually they use dairy butter.
butter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like almost all baked goods. Most baked goods you usually just have to use vegan butter. Is
So did
usually
you
good. And
see
then
my
the egg.
post? Speaking of butter, did you know that not all movie popcorn had real butter? I thought it was definitely dairy based, but I
Oh
learned that
no! Oh, I,
I was
I
like,
forget.
I haven't been having movie pop. I've been getting
No,
plain
that's the main reason
popcorn.
I go. My big splurge is go to the movies for vegan butter. Like I did, yeah. Even when I was a raw foodist, that was my one splurge as a movie theater. I didn't have a TV or anything. I would go. You do want to make sure, but it's usually coconut based. It's not healthy by any ways. It's probably
Right, right.
healthier than actual butter is. But yeah, that's a big like. I don't go out to the. I watch a lot of movies at home, but I don't go out to the movies often. I have the smaller splatter. But anytime I go home, like me and my cousins usually get together. I only make it home like once a year. I need to go home more often to Indiana. And we always go out to a movie. And that's always my big thing is I get extra butter. And that's when I'm not a big, I like pop. I can't say I don't drink pop, but that's not like my big splurge. Like if I'm going to eat sweets, I'm more of a, let's get the Reese's peanut butter cup vegan like that as far as that over soda though. But when I go to a movie, butter popcorn and a soda
I can't believe
is a
6 years
must.
almost vegan. I had no idea. Well, now let me ask you this: you might know when you go into like the store and you see like the movie popcorn, that type.
You
I never looked at the ingredients. Is that the
got,
same?
you just gotta look like Act Two movie theater popcorn is not vegan, but
Okay,
Act 2 butter lovers is vegan.
that's so weird, isn't it?
But Act 2 regular butter is not vegan. It's very, very weird. Yeah, as far as that goes. So, but honestly, it's just because it's kind of like how Oreo cookies are vegan. Like they're not doing it for ethical
For
reasons.
yeah, for a purpose, right?
Yeah, purpose. And there's no health. Like you're not getting any health benefit. But
Yeah.
morally, but it is nice. I mean, you can go in and get some butter. I mean, and you also always want to call ahead. It's not every theater as far as that
Hmm.
goes. So, but I think most of like is Regal a chain out there? Like Regal's what we have
Yeah,
around here.
I think
I
we
think.
have definite. I can't remember what the one is or near here. I haven't been in the movies in a while, but AMC maybe is what we have. I
And I
think
think AMC's do. I mean,
I was
it
on the
could,
list.
place to place. I always call and double check as far as that goes.
Yeah,
So yeah,
definitely.
that's the reason
If you're
I was thinking about
watching,
seeing Beetlejuice too, was so I could go. As
everybody
far
keeps all the good information from me. I'm telling you, but they probably
I
say
thought that as well. Now you knew Oreos were vegan, right?
yes. Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
I had a little kick with them before, so yeah, I knew they were vegan. But I also like I get surprised by some stuff. Like I did a post one time of like 30, like around Halloween, like 30 candies that are vegan by mistake. But then there's some that you wouldn't think wouldn't be vegan. Like I never realized that like gummy bears and stuff, like a lot of those use gelatin and things that are not vegan. But like when you first go vegan, you're thinking strictly like, well, I was anyway, not even first go vegan because I was raw, but like when I got into the process type, like more like, vegan foods, like just like you said, like chips and stuff like that, I was always thinking, well, it doesn't have any butter or anything in it. If it's candy, it's not going to have butter in it. But then you
Yep.
find there's other
The
little things
gelatin, like
sneaked in.
Jello. Yeah. No, Jello pudding is vegan, like the pudding boxes.
Oh, really?
As long
Oh,
as you use vegan milk, most of it, once
you
again,
just
look,
use vegan
a
milk, right?
JLL vegan, the pudding, as long as you use plant-based milk, is
Hmm.
vegan, but Jello itself is not. So
Right.
what's
Yeah,
MQ? Let's see what MQ's been saying here.
she said
She's
usually the specialty Oktoberfest beers are what she had. We had vegan bratwurst in Helen, the Republica German city in Georgia. Oh, that's neat.
oh, that's really cool.
I like those as far as, sausage, bratwurst and things. Have you ever tried the Beyond original brats, I think they're called?
Those are pretty good. I really have you had field roast? Maybe you have field roast
I
nowadays.
did. Yeah, I tried that a long time ago too.
Yeah, to me, the apple sage field roast to
Oh
me is the
yeah, that's good.
top top tier for that. So I do like the Beyond ones too. I mean, I've kind of tried all of them as far as that goes, depending on what I'm using it for. So, but
I feel like
yeah,
the apple sage sausage to me reminds me of something to have more with like traditional breakfast, and like the ones I like for like if you're gonna have them like on a grill or something. I felt like we liked the Beyond better, but I guess it's up to like
yeah.
personal preference.
Now, did you get the apple sage, the actual brats, or the because field roast does make sausages, breakfast
Oh,
ones?
maybe we had the
There
sausage.
are, yeah. Now, field roast is different ones. They have hot dogs, small hot dogs. They have the breakfast sausages, but they have when they started out, their main thing were brats. Like there's the same size as your Beyond, like the big brats. Is that were they big like that?
No, they weren't. And I think that, what I find here a lot, because it's not a very vegan friendly town, is even the grocery stores will have some type of section for vegan, but they're very limited in like how many brands they have of it. Like you might see Field Roast, but they have one single option from Field Roast, if that makes sense. So I probably didn't see all the different options they
Oh
have.
yeah. Well, I'm trying to still field roast. Oh,
My brother and Nancy always eat popcorn
oh
when they
hang on.
go.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Don't
Go ahead.
tell them I said that.
Well, I am. I'm a big popcorn eater. Yeah, I just looked up field roast of Seattle too. So that's the other reasons I have a lot more options of
Oh, right.
like
You
that.
know,
That's why I also. That's why I was asking. I wasn't sure if it was a Washington State thing. I do get an Indiana type thing. So
we used to
yeah.
watch
Oh, and
this spoof of like I guess it's like Ellen had like a old stand-up act, and she would talk about how people eat popcorn like we're eating it like I don't know, like I don't know why we all do that, but we kind of like just stuff it into our mouth, like we don't want to take a breath, like when we're eating it we take like a
oh
big handful. And she was
yeah.
like, and then we go to the movies and we're like stocking up like we're crossing the Himalayas, like we get the largest popcorn, it's only like a 2-hour movie, but we act like we don't want to move for a couple hours,
But
I think.
it's that vegan. It's that not vegan. It's that butter. Well, which happens to be vegan, but it's that movie theater butter. It's just different than even before you're vegan, even melted. Which really, you think about movie theater popcorn is basically like ghee, like the butter style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
melted.
yeah. Same thing with soda. I'm not a huge. I mean, I do drink soda, but that's where I'll get like the large soda. Like I drink more soda and eat more popcorn at one setting at a movie theater than I probably do like in well, I gotta say all the time around. I do eat a lot of popcorn at home, but here I air pop it and just do the nutritional yeast brags.
Oh, really? It's that
But
good? Was it make it like cheese popcorn kind of?
Oh yeah, yeah. Do the air pop if you want a healthy version of it. Air pop for popcorn, and I think I'll do like the nutritional yeast makes it a cheesy flavor type thing. But if you want to get real fancy, you can get the nutritional yeast. I kind of got the idea from Crocs in the Kitchen, but you can use like chili powder, make a chili cheese
Oh
flavor type
wow,
thing.
no way.
As far as that goes, another good way, it wouldn't be healthy vegan, but if you pop it with oil or whatever, as far as that, fresh herbs on popcorn, like rosemary and oregano makes good popcorn and stuff. But air popcorn, because the Bragg's has that salt, but it makes it stick to it. Because that's the problem with, I actually like plain air popcorn with
Mhm.
nothing on it as far as that. But if I want to go a little bit nicer, the Bragg's is nice just to because it makes it a little wet. You got to get the mister as far
Mhm.
as that. So that I guess that's a West. I learned about that here on the West Coast. That's a hippie thing, but everyone's like, "Oh, it reminds me of my childhood. My parents making popcorn. And you spritz it with Bragg's liquid aminos and
Never had
nutritional.
that.
Yeah, yeah, and that's not even like vegan people. Like that's just a way people eat it. So, but yeah, it's a good way. It's a good way to. I mean, you get your if we're out sodium, you don't want the Bragg's on it. So, but you can do pickle juice, like
Mhm.
anything type thing. So, and I actually bought a microwave to do oil-free microwave popcorn in my microwave type thing that works really well. So I have
Oh.
a electric air popper, but it's such a pain. It takes forever type thing. So and
Yeah.
popcorn's a great. I like it when I'm trying to be healthy because it gives me that crunch. Because that's the hardest thing when you're not using oil. Like
Mhm.
soups and stuff, baked goods are pretty easy, but you kind of I think that crunch texture and that air popcorn is one of those few things you can get
Mhm.
without oil, get that crunch in there. So, but yeah.
That's true. There's just some certain things that you want to have that texture of, I think, too. And that's I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Oh, I just think it's cool the way that pop like corn kernels turn into popcorn. There's something like magical about that. Like even I guess that stems from when I was a kid. I'm like, how do they do that? I actually looked it up one
Oh,
time. Like
yes.
I forget what I saw now.
Now you can do other grains with it too. Like I believe you can do how do you say it? What's that little grain? Amaranth.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
never.
you can make popcorn out of that little tiny kernels.
No way.
Yeah, as far as
That's
that,
pretty good.
and there's some other not grains, I shouldn't say kernels that you can do type thing. Like yeah, I went on a big dive into it type thing. So well, in the ancient times, what they would do is they would put it in sand and heat up the sand, and it would pop, and the popcorn would come on top of the sand.
No way. That's
As
pretty
far as
neat.
that, yeah.
How
I actually
creative.
also saw a way people did popcorn in a waffle iron. So
No way. That's pretty neat too. I've never. And then what was the other way? You could probably even. I wonder if you put corn like in the. Like, you ever had like just quickly heating up some corn in the microwave and all of a sudden you hear a pop? I think I just exploded one, but all of a sudden I
well,
was like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
popcorn.
Well, popcorn you have to have actual popcorn. You can't pop any corn.
Here's an interesting question. I don't know why, because I like whenever I have corn, I always like potatoes. What's your favorite kind of potatoes? Do you like mashed potatoes or baked
Oh, you
potatoes?
mean style? Ooh,
Oh, I guess yeah. Or we could talk about kind of potatoes. I was thinking I like the red
no
potato.
style. Oh, are you talking about kind of potatoes or how do I like my potatoes? Those are two different
Both.
questions.
Let's just go for both since I wasn't
Uh,
thinking of it.
yeah. I do like mashed if I have a good gravy to go on it.
Hmm.
That, but I also like the potato wedges, like fry. I mean, I guess I would say fry. I mean, at home or out. I mean, fries is always the way to go. Is fries if I'm out.
Right. Yeah,
As
they're
far as
always.
that, if you're at deep fried, but at home, even not healthy wise, I like more of the bigger wedges. So yeah, baked potato. I mean, I do like a baked potato, but it would be the lowest. I would probably say mashed potatoes or oven fries
Hmm.
would
I
probably
think
be my
I've been
top. How
through.
about you?
I've always been a big mashed potato person, but I did have like I do like fries too, but like my go-to would be mashed potatoes, but I also don't eat them all the time, but when I do, I feel like that's the first thing. But then I also went through a phase where I liked baked potato with you know, different sour creams. Like a lot of people like what is the one that's really popular that people use
The
man, I
vegan.
can't think of it.
Well, tofutti is the easiest one to
The
get
food,
out of.
yeah, but I liked Forager. There was a different one that there
Yeah, Forger. That's the new one. Well, for me, new on the market. Like back in the day, Tofutti was the first one. Forager, I think, is a better quality one, for
yeah.
sure.
Violife makes a good cream cheese, but that doesn't have anything to do with sour cream. But it just
Well,
reminds.
I think they make a sour cream too.
Hi, Philip. Thank you for joining.
Hey, Phil, how's it going?
Hello again. Yes, he was at the live earlier. Thank you for joining us again.
Yeah. Yeah, see, mashed potatoes for me growing up, my dad for some reason didn't like gravy. So whenever we had mashed potatoes growing up, my dad was very plain, so they were plain. So for me, when I go to other people's houses and I get mashed potatoes with gravy on it, that
Mhm.
was a big thing. Or who is it that had? Is it Red Lobster? This is prior to vegan.
Garlic mash.
Yeah,
Outback.
who had the garlic mashed?
I know Outback had them.
Outback had them. Yeah, I was thinking there was another chain place. Red
Maybe
Lobster was
Dorados or
the
something. No.
biscuits. The biscuits, wasn't it?
Oh, the biscuits. Yeah, like I made biscuits. I make them for Thanksgiving with almond milk, which is cool. You can like Bisquick is vegan. That's I'm not a
Oh
big
yeah, yeah,
cook,
yeah.
but that's
Well,
one of the things I discovered. And what is
I'm
it?
talking about the
Before I
Cheddar
forget,
Bay biscuits, though.
tell. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, I like biscuits too, but Red Lobster's known for their Cheddar Bay
Yes,
biscuits.
yeah,
But you're
I
probably
know.
right. I was thinking how they're doing that. I was thinking there's another. Maybe it is Outback. I mean, I can't remember. I used to
No,
eat
they
at
didn't
Outback.
have. Definitely didn't have the. Uh, yeah, I know what you're talking about too.
Someone else had the garlic. It wasn't Olive Garden, but they are known for their garlic type thing. Now, do you roast garlic? Do you make roasted garlic?
No, Dawn loves garlic. We probably should, but I wanted to ask you before I forget at some point, what is a good vegan gravy recipe? Do you have one that you
Oh,
make?
Kathy Hester's is the best one. Her golden
Okay.
gravy, as far as that goes. I do some different ones like cheese, like I screw around that you can make similar to cheese sauce. But I would recommend Kathy Hester's golden gravy because you can make it a powdered mix and have it on hand, and you just
Mhm.
heat it up as far as that goes. So I think that's a good base one as far as that goes. Actually, I got a whole thing over there. That's what I need to, and it's oil free, fat free, and I think it's as good as any that. Now, if you're in a hurry though, a lot of your that's another thing. There's a lot of gravies that happen to be vegan, like the powdered gravies
Mhm.
in the grocery stores. If you're just wanting to, you know,
You know what I used to eat on it? And you can find vegan versions of it, but like mushroom gravy or cream of chicken, like in a can. Like if they have a vegan version, like I've used that as gravy. I don't know if that holds up to other people's, type of or veggie broth you could even do, right? Like something
well,
like just to make them
a
a
real
little
a
moist.
real simple gravy is just veggie broth. You use some cornstarch in it to thicken it up, and you basically got a gravy. I mean, that's yeah,
Yeah,
basically that.
that's
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, I
now,
didn't know that. See, you're teaching
yeah,
me.
that or if you want to get like fattening, you can do a roux, which is just butter and flour. You start out with, and
Hmm.
then you add in your milk, and then and the key to gravy, depending if you want to do mushroom gravy, milk gravy, the sage and spices and stuff. But Kathy's I think is awesome just because you can make a big batch of it, and then once you have it, it's just like having you can make it really quick. So if you're trying to eat oil free and stuff like that, you can just throw your potatoes in the air fryer or have your baked potatoes, mashed potatoes. So yeah. But what I was gonna say though, roasting garlic. Have you had roasted garlic in general?
Mm-mm.
Oh, like, it makes it much mellow. You can spread it like butter, but roast some garlic and then mash that into your potatoes, and it's your
Like the
best.
cloves of garlic.
Yeah, chop the clove off, like the not
Uh-huh.
off the top off. And if you're wanting to do oil free, you don't have to. I don't use oil. You can just either wrap it in foil or put it if you have a silicone mat, put it down and you roast it till it gets soft, then it gets dark type thing. Or and it does taste a little bit better. The original way is you put oil on it, wrap it in foil, or use one of those, and you roast it. And gives a much sweeter taste type garlic, and you can basically use like butter on that. But that's awesome in mashed
I
potatoes.
could put that on popcorn.
Well, if you can get it down the consistency, like I try to think. I mean, it's super sticky. Like, well, it's
Oh,
like
I got you. I see what you're talking
well,
about.
it's like caramelized onions. It's basically you're
Mhm.
caramelizing the garlic. Like it's like
Mm,
yeah,
that sounds
super
good.
super sticky. But you probably could like mix it somehow like that type thing. But yeah, but it makes a really good garlic bread type thing. But when you're talking about mashed potatoes, if I'm trying to fancy it up, like when it's like holidays and stuff, we would do a uh, garlic potatoes, and then we would do a mushroom gravy from scratch type thing with the balanced butter and all that. If you're wanting to go super like fancy or indulgence, like festival type thing. But like the Kathy's is nice because it's low fat or fat free, basically. Depending on what
Everybody should join. I'm finally in there now, the Heartbeat group for Kathy Hester. Go in there, and I'm sure you can find some cool stuff in there. Thanks for referring me to that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, just before I forget, when we come around to Thanksgiving, that might be an interesting thing to, if you celebrate that, you could also we could answer any questions. I know that I've done a Thanksgiving type version of vegan food, so we could talk about that and how people navigate the holidays and things. As far as some topics for the.
Yeah. I mean, I could give you, if you want to go when I'm trying to be whole food, plant based cooking. There's tons of recipes I can do that way, or I can do, oil free as far as that goes. Yeah. Phil was talking about, a lot of people don't want the foil touching the paper like that type thing.
Line it with parchment paper. That's good advice. Because I've been hearing about, what is it, like the chemicals in foil or something like that?
As far as that, I personally don't worry about it, but I'm saying as a personal preference as far as that goes. I don't do the foil or the parchment because I don't like to waste either way. I have do you have the silicone mats, the reusable ones?
No, I just saw Chef AJ, I think, using one, or maybe someone else. I'm going to have to get some of those.
That's what I have. And I just put it right on it. Yeah, if you're going to cook oil free, that's the way to go type thing. It's a lot less waste and it cooks better. I should show you the one. I got one off of Amazon. It's really cool. It's actually a roll. And then you can cut it, but you can keep reusing it type thing. But it's basically reusable parchment paper as far as that goes.
So I saw Chef AJ making, I think it was her, or might have been Kathy. I don't remember. Somebody was using this, might have been a completely different channel, but they had.
Well, she's been on Kathy's channel a few times, so it could have been both of them.
Both of them.
Because they've been on each other's channels here lately, so.
Yeah, and the brownies, like she made them, but she was able to dump them out and they didn't stick. Is that like?
That's the silicone baking things. Yeah, do you not know about that?
Oh, here. Well, I haven't cooked a lot over the 5 years. In all fairness, just a couple of Thanksgiving stuff, really. But I need to get better with my cooking skills. Let's see. Of course, I didn't know Movie Popcorn was vegan until 2 days ago. Give me, you got to give me some time here. I'm catching up. The aluminum causes. The aluminum causes dementia and Alzheimer's. Yeah, and I forget who was just talking about this because I watch a lot of. I think it's Raw Intuition, and they do. They did a show on. It might not have been on that one, but he talks a lot about household items that contain toxins and how we don't even realize a lot of the scented things that we use and and foil. I did not even realize that. That's interesting.
Well,
maybe that's honestly, why now I should go raw again. Just kidding.
And a lot of that research is questionable. I've also been watching another video and they're talking about how extreme it is and stuff like that. So I mean, it's up to you. I mean, honestly, that's white vegan stuff. Like most people aren't even worried about that. I mean, we got cultures that have dirty water. So if you're in a situation, your big concerns, foil and toxins from that, you got a lot of stuff going. So, but I mean, to each your own. So to me, that's when you start. I used to go down that rabbit hole. So for example, I guarantee in a few years I say this, but this is probably what they're talking about on Chef AJ. It's silicone.
Oh yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, and this will pop it out. I have it with muffins and everything like that. So these are really awesome as far as that goes. So, but you can do brownies, like all your baking, and you don't need to use oil or parchment paper or anything like that. So, and I need to clean mine, but you can buy a roll of this, but this is the reusable silicone. I just scrub it up type thing.
Okay.
Basically, it's just parchment paper that's reusable, that you reuse and stuff. So, but yeah.
Is that more environmentally friendly? Is that why you use silicone?
Yeah. The main reason. Yeah. Well, I mean, silicone is the same. anything you use parchment paper, you use silicone, but parchment paper you can't reuse. So, but yeah, it's the
Mhm.
environmentally friendly and just also money friendly too, as far as it pays for itself
Yeah,
type
I
thing.
think a lot of stuff has been developed out of like convenience and things that we probably, don't realize how wasteful it is for sure.
Oh yeah, we're really bad as far as see, and that's where I get into a lot of like I mean honestly, I'd rather reuse foil and possibly get Alzheimer's than keep using parchment paper and make waste as far as that. Like a lot of stuff that might have chemicals in it, if it's a thing that's less more environmentally friendly, I'm always gonna take the environmentally friendly aspect of it as far as that goes. So yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with making seitan. I hate they want you to roll it up in parchment paper as far as
Hmm.
that goes. See, what I really want to do is have you heard of you take cloth and what they usually use is beeswax, and it's basically reusable wax paper to wrap food in and stuff.
Oh no.
Oh,
I didn't know about
that's
that.
a big like a kind of a hippie thing as far as that, but it works really really well. But I need to make my own. Most people just get the beeswax and make it. Basically, you just use old rags and you melt it and you dip it in it, and it's basically you can just use it to store food and stuff in it type thing. But I need to get the soy wax version of it to make it. So I've been wanting to do. So I'm
I was
trying to
gonna
do
ask
more.
you your thoughts on that. I know some vegans eat honey.
Yeah, no, to, honey's not vegan as far
That's
as
how
I.
I am too, but
Yeah,
I've had
yeah.
spoken to people who eat it, so it's
Well, that,
definitely.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Don Watson was. Don Watson is one of the main people that was vegan. Like even his garden at the end wasn't using a little what's it called, a
I don't.
spade. He's
Mhm.
using that so he wouldn't kill as many bugs as far as that goes. So yeah.
Mhm.
Now raw food people will eat honey. It's very common raw vegans eat honey because raw food is more about health, and they'll say there's benefits. But true vegan philosophy, I most people that are in it for the animals don't eat honey type thing. So
Yeah. I never was a big like honey. I would eat honey in stuff like honey chipotle lime or whatever, like you would
oh,
serve it, but I never ate like honey in my tea, very rarely or anything before I was vegan.
yeah,
So
yeah, I
plus
love
it's a
I love
product of an animal. So, that I
yeah.
don't eat for that, but I understand like there are people who say they harvest it themselves. So maybe that that they try to do it in a way that's, I don't know, I guess doesn't
Yeah, but
harm.
you're still taking the food straight from the bees that did all that work for it. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
it's
just
not
saying
even
that's
like
what I've been
there's
told.
not
So
even like the argument with like the milk. The milk you can say, hey, if you have your own calves,
yeah,
you're not
like you
keeping
were
it.
talking
There's
about.
extra milk like that. There's really never extra honey. Like you're kind of
Hmm.
screwing them over
I
as far
try
as
to
that.
keep it very
Honestly, I
simple.
really
No animals.
honey was probably harder for me to give up than dairy
Really,
was. Yeah, well,
really,
not hard, but that was one. Yeah, I mean, I really, if I could eat honey, I would eat honey,
because you're
especially
a tea
honeycomb.
drinker. That's why too, probably, right?
No, no, no. I never put anything in my tea. So
Oh, never. I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know if that was a newer thing or not. Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
cool.
no. I just like honey on like biscuits with honey on it. As far as that
Hmm.
goes, yeah. And
How was
just
the
cooking with
jelly,
honey.
butter and jelly on the
Jelly,
biscuits?
yeah. Hey, Carl
Coral, welcome.
and
Thank
Philip.
you.
Sometime I want to chat with you about the Food for Life. How long ago did you do Food for Life, Philip?
While you're talking
Like,
to Philip for 1 second, I'm just gonna run and get a water.
hey, Carl. Yeah, because I know you graduated Food for Life. How long ago was that? Because I was wanting to get some more info on it because I'm planning on doing it this April. I'm thinking about it. So, and Carl, how's things going over in Scotland? Yeah, it's always awkward when I'm just sitting here chatting as far as that goes. Oh, last year. Okay, Philip. So you're pretty new on it. Cool. Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, sometime I've been meaning to send you a message on Facebook. Yeah, sometimes I want to chat a little bit more about it, type thing. I talked to Sharm about it, and she gave me a lot of info. But she did it a while ago, and I think it kind of some things have changed in it. So I was wanting to chat with someone that's recently finished up with it, as far as that, to get some a little bit more details on it as far as that goes. So I'll probably hit you up on that. So. And MQ, no MQ, you just did the Why am I blanking on it? And I'm doing that class right now.
Uh,
Foods, whole food, plant based certification. Campbell, T. Campbell
Campbell, yeah, T. Colin
Nutrition.
Campbell.
Yeah, but I don't think MQ did the Food for Life. So, and Philip, did you say you're going to do the T. Campbell, or is that someone else? I'm getting confused.
Diana, I know, is doing it, right?
Yeah, I need to talk to her because we were talking about like being study buddies for it.
I
As far
feel
as that,
like maybe Philip said it. I can't remember. Wasn't me yet.
yeah, yeah,
Doing good, Carl. Thank
we're
you.
doing
Glad
good.
all is good for you. We're just sitting here having a seeing where the conversation takes us. That's good. How's things? What have you been up to, Carl? Yeah, I think those are. So what are the like that one? I know Food for Life and T. Colin Campbell nutrition certification. I feel like those are the two most popular ones. That
Well, and then the other one is uh, and Cheryl just finished it, and she was talking about it when she was on Kathy's.
oh,
I'm blanking on it. Like it's, I feel like it's the other big one. It's kind of Food for Life. Um, I'm watching too soon. What are we watching too soon? Phil said I'm watching too soon. I'm not sure what it's referring that to. But a lot of the Food for Life and the Campbell people go back and forth. Like they go hand in hand. I think something like that. Man, I'm blanking on what Cheryl's doing. And she's talking about her coaching. When Cheryl's talking about her coaching and stuff like that. But I cannot remember it.
Oh man, I don't know. I didn't hear that. I heard her say she got her certification, but I didn't hear the part about where it was from.
Yeah, yeah, it's the other one. So, because Diana was talking about doing that when I mentioned the Food for Life to her, as far
I
as that,
think
because
it was the Vegan Knowledge JJ complete certification.
yeah, that's well,
If you
is
guys
yours
want
six?
to take that, just send me $5. I'll.
I gotta say the one. I think the one I'm talking about is like $6,000, not the Food for Life, but the other ones. So, um, any cross any good ways for digestion? I mean, for quick digestion. I mean, neither one of us are doctors. I mean, definitely get some enzymes in there. I'd say fermentation, like, but what do you mean by quick, like
I
healthy
would
digestion or
say
quick? Quick. I mean, what are you, like? What in the?
would say eat things that are, I know that, like you said, we're not giving medical advice, but for me, my digestion always works best when I eat a lot of high water content foods, like a lot of fruits, especially. And maybe like do if you're having trouble with digestion, maybe clear out. Some people do like juices or smoothies instead of
Well,
like solid food for a little while to kind
before
of.
we go into that, what's he mean by quick? Are you saying speed, healthy? I mean, quick's kind of a, and he's also saying I've been eating loads of watermelon, which to me that would be what I would go to for quick because they're easily quick digesting. Now, are you asking what foods quickly digest, or are you asking what foods will help you digest the food that's in your stomach quickly, or you're talking about so that it passes at 6 a.m.?
Well,
Do you
whenever
have
I
bowel
eat,
movement
I eat
by
very
6
high
a.m.?
raw and lots of fruit. That's what does it for me, Carl.
Yeah, or just high fiber. I mean, as far as that,
Too
I
much
mean, if you're
fiber, like as far as refined carbs, can also like bind me up sometimes. So I like balance, right?
well,
If you ate only oatmeal,
refined carbs
that's high in fiber.
is not fiber. That's what makes it not fiber. That's kind of a, yeah.
Well, what type of fiber did you mean? Like a lot of like fruits and vegetables fiber?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what we mean when you're saying refined, are you talking about like white flour? Or you're talking about whole grain?
I'm just saying, like, when some people think of fiber, they're thinking of like fiber one or, like different types of things. You can eat bread that has fiber in it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, high anything, yeah, the high fiber. But once again, I don't know what he's asking as far as are you constipated? Are you having bloated? Or are you literally just wanting to go quickly? Like you eat the food and it shoots out you quickly. Like that's a very
Yeah, I think digestion is one of the things that is really is important. Like I know sometimes mine feels better than others as far as how you clear out. You know what I mean? If I eat a lot of things that are like yeah, if I eat a lot of white flour and stuff, that definitely doesn't help my digestion. But the more
Well,
raw
no, because
I
there's no
eat, the
fiber. There's
more
no
whole.
fiber in it. So yeah. No. Do you know Dr. B? Fiber fueled.
Mhm.
I would go to him. He has tons of YouTubes. Actually, go to Physicians Committee. I think 5 hours ago they literally just put up a live thing about digestion today
No,
on
your
Physicians
question is
Committee.
definitely not annoying. I thought it was a good question.
No, it's not annoying. Yeah, I just wasn't quite sure. Like I said, speed up. Like I was saying, speed up. Like I'm trying to like I'm filled up. I need to clean myself out or speed up. Like I said, I wasn't quite sure if you're asking like you're just like because then you said you eat a lot of watermelon. So to me, if anything, that would be one of the quickest
I think he
ways.
was just saying that he has been eating a lot of watermelon. Does that, it definitely cleans you out, but I think also, taking out a lot of things that might be blocking it could help too,
Yeah.
depending on what you eat and drink, and maybe, drinking more water if you're not eating a lot of high water content. I think that can help too, right?
Oh yeah. Hydration is a big part of it too. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think
Um,
digestion is like I think a lot of people talk about gut health, like when your digestion feels good and you're kind of running on all
yeah.
cylinders, you're eliminating toxins. I think it's definitely a thing that to work. I can feel the difference in mine, different ways I eat for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Dr. Will B. Goes straight to him as far as that. And actually, I want to do his Fiber Fuel book for my next book club. I've already done it once as far as
Oh,
that goes.
cool.
But he's called the Poop Doctor for a reason. I mean, I would go to Dr. B before I even go to Bernard or Dr. Greger. I mean, that's kind of his thing. So, um, as far as that, but go to the Physicians Committee. Dr. B is on there all the time. I mean, I think I've probably watched probably over 30 hours of digestion as far as that goes. So, and I didn't put on my thing. I was gonna put on another thing about digestion and stress and anxiety from the therapist person I like a lot. So, but yeah. Also, yeah, just look at your diet as far as that. You basically, got to be hydrated. The more variety of foods you have, and keep it high fiber as far as that goes. Anything 3 grams is considered good fiber. 4 or 5 grams higher per serving is considered a high fiber food as far as that goes. So yeah, no problem. Yeah, so I'm gonna say, and tonight with the T Campbell, they're having the Blue Zone class tonight. So I'm sure they'll be talking about fiber and beans and all that. Oh crap, and of course beans. Yeah, beans is your go-to also.
Or if you're trying to, yeah, you could do some sprouted sprouts too. I think Carl is very high raw. He may not eat
Okay.
a lot of beans, but sometimes they can make you, if you eat too many of them too. There's definitely ease into the beans if you haven't been
Yeah.
eating them, because they don't bother me now when I eat beans. But when I used to not ever eat beans and then I would eat a ton of them, they can almost give you like kind of a weird, what is that, like a gassy type feeling. Maybe not as good as your.
Here, here's the reality, though. Oh no, Carl. I was thinking Philip was asking that. I was just say Philip went through the Food for Life class, so he should. But I forgot Carl is hasn't done the as far as that goes. So, but yeah, but yeah, but I mean, yeah, if you really want digestion, I mean, like I said, if it's
Yeah.
digestion, sauerkraut, you're living, any that's good for you. Your yogurts and stuff. So, as far as that, I mean, I can get really gross about it. Like I said, I was all about. I mean, I'm still all about digestion, but I got a deep dive with that as far as that goes. So yeah, beans I can eat a ton of them, and that's one thing this week. I need to start trying to get at least 1 cup of beans in a day. Tight for
Definitely.
sure.
We've been talking about it.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it.
Well, that's one thing in the blue zone. Like the two big things they found out is pretty much beans makes you live longer, and the whole grains are your two key thing they find just scientifically. Like no one, even meat, even omnivores and everything. Like yeah, pretty much that's the way to go. So, but yeah, sprouts are good. Yeah, yeah. Now, depending on your sprouts, I mean, yeah, of course, any fruit and vegetable is gonna have type thing. And not to be gross, it's like, are you more liquidy? Are you trying to make it more solid type thing? It has a lot to do with it. I mean, as far as that, it's kind of like
Is the
today.
poop?
Yeah, I mean, you want to get into it. That's where Dr. B gets into it. Like today, like one of the dogs is having diarrhea, so I'm gonna give them like parade pumpkins, really good for making that solid as far as that goes. So
Sometimes we just gotta let it happen, right? Some of the stuff we try to we might be clearing something out, right? If we're going more than normal, let the body expel it, right? I don't think there might be like you said, there might not be a perfect food for it, but I think it's a combination of just eating a lot of like fruits, vegetables, not too, I think nuts are good, but I do find if I eat too many nuts, then I also have a little bit of not as perfect as it could be. Because I know what Carl's trying to say. Like you can feel good digestion, but then you can feel like, yeah, I feel like I'm eliminated properly. I'm still debating if I should have beans. I used to love them. I do miss them probably one day. So
I would say if you're debating whether or not you have beans, you should do look up more of the whole food plant based doctors, like legitimate doctors. I wouldn't go by influencers. I'm talking about look up doctors, check out Greger, Bernard, Esselstyn, Physicians Committee, T. Campbell. These are like people that are professional. Dr. B. Go to that information. You're going to see a lot of different stuff. I mean, as far as that on it, saying yes or no. Blue zones. There's a reason as far as that. Like, I'm not going to say yes or no. Just go to the legitimate doctors, and you'll get a pretty quick answer. There's a few things that everyone agrees on in the professional world. Like I said, I've never heard anyone I consider legitimate say not to eat beans. I'll just put it that way. From my personal opinion, as far as that goes, like I've never seen a like someone that has the true credentials that I would trust with my health that has spoken against them type thing. So there's a lot of questionable people that I've heard say it, but yeah. So, but
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
they're pretty good arguments as far as a lot of that goes on. So yeah, definitely do your own research and
who
check
does?
into it and see what's best. What works for you for
No,
sure.
but when you do the research, go to actual doctors. Don't do influencers. That's the thing I do want to point out. Make sure don't just look up because yeah, you can find out anything. I can give you a whole list of people that'll tell you beans are bad. I can give you a whole list of people that tell you it's good. But
Well,
yeah,
what I like
definitely.
to look at is the why behind their saying that beans are bad or why they're saying beans are good. To your point, we shouldn't take
Doctors.
people at face
That's what,
value because there's a heck of a lot of doctors, medical doctors, I wouldn't listen to either. So I don't think they know very much about nutrition. But
okay.
plant
We're gonna
based
change the
doctors.
subject because I don't feel comfortable with this as far as that because I don't want to get into
Well,
the
I
false.
mean, there's doctors online. You have to also check if they actually have nutrition doctorate. Is what I
I'm
mean.
listing nutrition doctors. You don't think Dr. T. Campbell is a nutrition doctor? You don't think Dr. Greger is a
I mean,
nutrition doctor? You don't
I
think Dr.
definitely I
Bernard?
follow all of those guys. I'm
Yeah.
just saying if it's a doctor is what might be misleading, I meant.
No, but
So
I
you
listed. That's why I said the whole food plant based doctors. Look them up. And Dr. B. I mean, that's him. He's a whole food plant based doctor. Like as far as that, and honestly, that's where I would go to like physician committee, and like as far as that goes, all those type things. But those are the ones that actually have, sort of like the food for life. Like we're gonna learn to cook from them, but we don't do like that type thing. So, um, but yeah,
yeah, definitely. I enjoy doing
we sorry about Lee, or sorry for.
what happened?
Yeah, I don't know. He said sorry, but I'm not sure.
He said all is good. So anyway, I guess we are done with the bean conversation. I like
Yeah,
pinto beans if I do have beans. They're my
yeah.
favorite. I think we talked about that last week, maybe. A lot of people do chickpeas too. I know that's another thing you can. They're very versatile. I think a lot of people do the chickpea untuna salad and things. Lentils are
Yeah,
a good one.
Chef Dell has a
I
good
think Dr.
recipe.
Furman talks about lentils being like one of the healthiest that he feels are healthiest
Yeah.
beans.
Well, lentils is considered the highest because they're smaller, so you get more fiber for your punch, more protein. So, because the fiber is usually the outside, so usually the smaller the bean, aka the lentil, the more fiber you're getting, nutrition type thing. So, but as Dr. Greger would say, the best bean is the bean you eat. Same thing. The best fruit's the fruit you eat. The best vegetable is the one you eat. So, yeah, lentils are my
That's what
per.
we also have to don't eat raw beans unless you sprout them. That's my best tip I can give you. I'm just kidding. Unless it's
Yeah,
a coffee bean. Oh,
yeah.
I love
Well,
coffee beans.
no, yeah, yeah. You, you
Do some people eat like? Have you heard of that?
you would have to special order it because coffee beans are green. The beans we get are roasted. Like that's
Yeah,
how you get the flavor of roasted as far as that goes. So
I forget that coffee is beans sometimes.
yeah, no, you're talking about chocolate covered espresso beans, but those are still raw. They're
Oh, that's
cooked.
maybe what I heard about. Yeah, people
Oh
are.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that's really. I mean, not taste wise. I mean, taste wise, that's good. Like chocolate covered. It's kind of like dark chocolate espresso beans and stuff like that. So, but yeah, but coffee beans are roasted. It's how they do it. Like an actual coffee bean actually looks like almost like edamame. As far as that, it's green, very unflavored
Do
type
you eat
things.
edamame?
Oh yeah, yeah, I like edamame. I haven't had it in a while though.
I know I haven't either.
One
I
of the,
thought about
one
it.
of those things I always forget about, and it's so easy. You can buy it frozen and just heat it up. So anytime I go out to Japanese, I eat it. So yeah,
Yeah, that's where I usually have gotten it. How do you guys stay active in the winter? So I just well, you could. I don't mind going outside sometimes when it's cold, but I probably am a little bit like I don't go out as much. But I just bought an elliptical, and Dawn likes the exercise bike here, so I haven't put it together. I think I was still talking about that last week too. I still need to figure out how to do that, but that's what my plan is for the winter to get moving. I'm probably going to throw something on YouTube and just kind of go to town on there for a half hour or so. What about you, Lee?
um, I'll probably get my rebounder out, but really, I just need to get better rain gear. As far as that, I live in Washington State, so our winters are mild. Now, if I was back in Indiana, that's a whole different question because the question is what your winter's like. Indiana, you got to figure out how to be active. You ain't going out. As far as that, luckily where I live at, like I can pretty much camp year round. It just gets wetter. Our winters are just wetter, so if you're willing to, as far as that, like I won't backpack, but I'll like car camp and then like hike around and stuff. As far as that goes, like really right now, like today was kind of like what our winters are like. It's like wet and stuff like that, so dry. So I'll still stay out during winter here type thing. But when I was like in Indiana or like Kentucky and stuff, well, I mean, if you have the room, elliptical, treadmill, but I like the rebounders just because, or the mini trampoline because they're cheaper
Mm-hmm.
and you can put up easier. And I also now I think about both time I lived in Chicago and Indiana, I always lived in apartments, so I always had to also worry about the noise issue below. Like the one time I had a treadmill, I lived on the first floor, but if you want to run a treadmill, unless you're in a good apartment building, sometimes your neighbors will give you issues as far as that goes. So yeah, but any of those, I think, yeah, elliptical or rebounder are both really good like that. I think the rebounder is fun because it's like you're a kid hopping up and down.
I
Um,
just shared what page was I on? I was just looking at it. I can't think of what it is now, but I think it was the healthiest raw vegan page. I think Carl, you might be on there. He just shared a climber machine, like one of those that looks
oh yeah,
interesting
I've seen
too.
those.
Because I like things that work like my arms and legs at the same time. Sometimes the bike, I like that, but I like the whole like feel like I'm getting like the whole workout without having to stop and lift weights. But I probably should do both. But I'm like that one seemed interesting too, without me having
Yeah,
to go climb a mountain.
yeah, Carl. If you're in a small apartment, look into a small trampoline, and I would say resistant bands for weightlifting are nice. Like you can get them pretty cheap if you want to do some weight training. As far
I
as
have a
that goes,
stepper that has those like bands connected to them. That's pretty
yeah,
interesting. I just don't feel like for me it gives me enough. Like it's kind of a small, cheaper, I guess one as you would call it, maybe like so it doesn't give me as much like I feel like I'm stepping. I just feel like I'm like very
Oh,
small.
Stepper. Yeah, I've seen those. I've seen them in thrift
Yeah.
stores all the time. I've never used one. I've always wondered if they're
It's not
worthwhile.
bad, like, but I have to do it for a long time to like feel like, I've actually gotten a little bit of work in. But if you do it long enough, like it was working for me. I was doing the different ways. While I was stepping, I was pulling the bands out and doing it like this and doing it like this. So I might start doing that again until I can ever get this Dawn said she's going to help me put the elliptical together because
Yeah.
she saw my struggles. So maybe between the two of us, we can get it together by this weekend because I'm really excited about it. Like, I had one that was somebody was giving away for free, and when we got there, we couldn't fit it in the car, so that's why I ended up getting a sort of a cheaper version of it. But that's okay. It'll be good to get like fit in here because some of the real big ones I wouldn't even know where to put the thing
Oh
right now.
yeah. Yeah, when I was raw, I had a treadmill, so I started out with, which I really like the treadmill as far as that goes. I
Was
just
it a
now
raw treadmill? I'm just playing.
yeah, I just now
That was funny.
I wouldn't have the room for it as far as
Yeah.
that goes. So that's really what you kind of enjoy as far as that too. As
Yeah,
far
I
as
think that's important. Like I've been
yeah,
I like enjoy walking or playing basketball. And like
yeah,
where we used to live, there was a basketball court right across from the house. So that made it a little bit easy for me because I always enjoyed that, like just running around and doing that. But then like now, I don't, I guess because when you get to a different stage of life, I don't really do anything that moves around. Like I'm either on YouTube or I'm on this computer
yeah.
working and like or walking to the kitchen, which isn't very helpful because I'm usually getting food on the way. So it's not really so like, finding that like I used to love the elliptical when I went to the gym. There was this gym in my hometown, it had a movie screen and you could go in
Oh,
there and they had all the stuff set up, like in rows, and you could just get on the different machines, and I would get on the elliptical and watch a movie. And I'm like, if I could do that now, that would make me feel so much better because I worry about like my lymphatic system and like my knees because I don't move around like I want
yeah.
to. Like
Well, that's
I don't
also what
walk enough.
the rebounder is really good for your lymphatic system. Is what they really recommend that one too. Yeah.
And
Also,
probably better for knees too, isn't it?
yeah. That's why I like the rebounder and the elliptical rebounder are both great. It's just the elliptical takes up more room as far as that.
Yeah.
I feel like the rebounder is more accessible for anybody as far as
Hmm.
that. Now, if I had a 3-bedroom house that I had a different section as far as that. I mean, I don't really have room for. I have a chair and a bed and a little bed type thing. Like I live like in a small apartment. So as far as that, also, like I know Summit Nutrition, which is who you're talking about earlier. He does has some calisthenics on there.
Boomer
Who is it?
Beyond Wellness too, our
Yeah,
friend. She does a lot of workout videos.
yeah, she's good. And man, I can't remember the guy's name. In Miro and the Raw, me and her were chatting about him. There's another guy. He does a lot of good calisthenics exercises at home. So, and another one you can check out is prison workouts. Think about how jacked prisoners are, but there are certain workouts that they will show you for small areas, which is a lot of squats, a lot of burpees and stuff like that. So depending on what you enjoy doing as far as that. I don't really watch him anymore, but PB plus J, I know he does his own he's not like an exercise guy, but he does his own workout at home type thing. So I would look around. I mean, you don't really need equipment to be honest. Now I think about it, like you can find a lot of stuff as far as that, depending on what your
Yeah,
health,
so
your knees and stuff are like. Yeah.
Matt and Misfit Vegan, I think one of them they were lifting watermelons. They're pretty good. You can use your own fruit as if you don't have anything to
Yeah.
lift. And some people use canned goods. I've seen like there's so many like household things. Like
Oh yeah. Well,
Angela did a workout in a chair for us, so you don't even have to like some things you can do while you're working. It's pretty cool.
yeah, or even like water jugs. You can
I
lift and
love your questions, Carl. I'm okay that no one else, because you definitely sparked some good conversations
stuff.
for us. So thank you for being here and for those questions. I appreciate it.
So yeah, like that. But yeah, YouTube has a ton of stuff on it. So but yeah, Summit Nutrition, if I'm saying his name right, I would check him out.
His name, I can't think of it right now.
Derek. I think it's Derek.
Derek. Okay,
A
yeah.
common name like that, as far as that goes. Yeah. But he has some good stuff on there as well. That also, not be rude, is Carl our age, older, younger?
I'm not really sure. I think I would guess probably. I'm gonna guess 30s.
Yeah, yeah. If
20.
you're over 60, definitely Boomer and Beyond's the way to go. That's what she specializes in. Is Boomer and Beyond's really good for her, especially if you have like different as far as that goes. So
yeah, I'm like I'm really proud too. I don't know if she shared them on her main page, but Muriel has been I forget, she found a gym, an outdoor, it was kind of a cool looking, like wild looking outdoor gym that almost looked like a playground, like for adults. He's 32. I should work at the, what is that, the carnival where I can guess people's age and birthday.
yeah, but have you seen Carl? I mean, what were you people at the carnival look at? All I have is Carl is a picture of fruit. So there's
here, but on Facebook I saw his photo.
Oh, I don't think I have Carl, so I don't know what Carl looks like at all. Like, I don't know if Carl is white, black.
I can just tell
I see he's a guy because you keep saying him and his name's Carl. That's kind of all I know. And honestly, no, not the stereotype. He's from Scotland, so I assumed he's a white guy. So, yeah. I think I probably kind of got the idea. Carl kind of looks like who's that Scottish comedian? He was not the original guy in Head of the Class. He replaced. You remember the old TV show Head of the Class?
Oh yeah, I very vaguely. Yeah,
and they replaced the original Head of the Class, which is a guy from WKRP in Cincinnati. The second guy was a Scottish guy, as far as that. But that whenever I think of Scotland, I think of him. So I probably think of, which yeah. But
this is hilarious. We're guessing Carl, right?
Like, yeah. Honestly, if I hear Scotland, I literally just think sounds horrible. Is was it? Hold it, am I right? Is Scotland? They have the Stonehenge. That's Scotland, right?
Is it? Yeah, I think. Or
Scotland invented. It's not Ireland. Well, we'll Google it now.
Obviously,
Carl knows.
Tell me where it was the other day. I don't know, but I do know I've got some type of British in me. That's what I think. Do you like my accent, Lee?
Yeah, it sounds like it should be in Mary Poppins. The Cockney, that very Cockney accent.
Oh, is it? I don't know. I just have one.
Okay, Salisbury, United Kingdom, which that doesn't tell me anything.
You know what I always find amazing? No, England, he said. I guess, is that where Stonehenge is?
Okay.
Okay. So like whenever I watched a couple of people's interview, or like I'll watch a movie and they'll sound their American accent, and then I watch like an interview on a talk show and they actually have like either English or more of a British accent. And I'm always amazed. I'm like, that's so cool. Like I would never have guessed. That's, some actors are amazing how they turn into their characters, I think. Well, we do have stone circles, though, he said.
See, I'm trying to figure out what guy I'm thinking about. He mean
here we have people that are stoned. I don't know if that's the same. Probably where you are too on the West Coast, Lee.
Oh yeah. We is weed's legal? Is weed legal in Maryland?
Stonehenge is in Salisbury, England. Well, we have I have a Salisbury, Maryland here. That's pretty cool. Salisbury.
That's driving me insane. Carl, do you know the guy I was referencing?
Carl, was my accent anywhere close to Scottish or no?
Were you trying to? I thought you were going for English, which it wasn't close to that either.
Going for English.
I think you're even further from Scottish, so.
Let's see. He said we have the Cavendish stones. Oh, okay. I will look that up after this. I'm just acting like I know what it is. You steal all our names. I know, right? You're such Biters. Is that what they used to call it in school? Sorry, I
What
don't.
is it? Biters?
You ever said that like when you were young? Like you're such a biter. That meant somebody was copying off you.
No, I've never heard that before.
Really? Maybe it was a '90s type thing
Well,
or an '80s. I don't know. Yeah, it might have been
that,
'90s.
that doesn't help. We're the same age. So I grew up in the 80s or 90s. It might be a location thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're watching the replay, if you called someone a biter or you were called a biter, let us know. They're stoned in OC Salisbury, the chicken capital of the East Coast, right? Exactly. Oh, it drives me crazy here. Yeah, this is where like I think Purdue originated in like
Really?
Salisbury, Maryland. Yeah. Or I don't know if it originated, but there definitely was a chicken plant.
See, Purdue University is near us, so I just always connected.
There we go. I got the Victorian period accent. Now I know exactly where my inner accent comes from. My inner England. I've thought about doing that at work when someone asks for a supervisor sometimes, like, oh, okay, sir, hold on a moment. Hello, this is the other JJ. How can I help you?
Oh, so yeah, I'm totally off. So, oh no, I was right. Glasgow, Scotland. So I was thinking it was Billy Connolly. You know who that is, Carl? That was that guy from. Sorry, it was driving me insane. Billy Connolly, and then he had a TV show on Discovery, and he went to Stonehenge and danced naked around it. But he's a Scottish comedian. So, but what I was trying to say when I think of Scottish people, Billy Connolly is who pops in my mind every time. So if you look him up, you probably recognize him. I feel like he was in a lot of 80s movies and stuff from back in the day.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. Let me write it.
Holly Farms, I'm not familiar with. Of course, Purdue and Tyson, I know.
Mm-hmm. Purdue and Tyson.
Yeah, what other shows is Billy Connolly in? Oh, he did the voice in Brave. Did you ever watch Pixar's Brave?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you have. Do you watch any Pixar movies?
No. My sister might be the one to talk to about that. She probably knows. I don't watch any scary movies. Well, except I watch Scream.
Wow, you have no clue what I'm talking about at all then, do you?
No.
Pixar movies, Disney. Like Monsters Incorporated, Ice Age.
Oh, I've heard of Monsters Incorporated. Yeah, I've never watched any.
Okay, yeah. I was like, scary. No, Pixar's, they're
I thought you said, did you ever watch horror movies?
No, Pixar, like the Toy Story. You know Toy Story?
Oh, okay, Pixar.
Yeah, that's
your Pixar. Horror because I know you like those.
Yeah, but there's Brave. Brave was a Pixar animated thing about Scotland, but he did. Yeah, it is a pretty good. Do you ever watch Frozen?
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Okay, yeah, all that's Pixar. Yeah, that's Pixar. Pixer. That's the did all that Wall-E and everything. That's where like, no, I don't like scary movies. I'm like, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, because I think you talked about horror movies before, so I probably just heard like the end of the word and thought, is the Scottish? It's the Scottish one, right? I've never seen it. Oh, he said,
you talking about Brave?
He is a Scottish treasure.
Is Billy Connolly's the Scottish treasure? Is that what he said?
We call him Big Yin. Is that who you been?
Maybe I haven't heard that, but I like the guy. I think he's hilarious. So he had a big stand-up joke about golf, like how Scotland like invented golf, how like just crazy they were drunk doing it things. So, and he had a TV show like in the 2000s, like a live thing, and he went to Stonehenge and was like being all hippie dancing naked. So that's probably why I connected Stonehenge and Scotland as far as that. And I'm just an ignorant American. So
you know why golfers bring an extra set of pants when they go golfing?
I haven't heard this one. No.
In case they get a hole in one.
Oh, jeez. Have you gone golfing before? Or do you golf?
Oh, just mini golf.
Like really?
A little putt-putt course, but I've never been to real golf. But I've watched a lot of golf. I used to kind of watch it when I was into a lot of sports. But it's pretty cool, interesting interesting game. I've just never actually played it.
Yeah, I'm not good. I've only done it for fun and stuff. And it's called Par 3, which is like the easiest version of it. I had friends that were like not professional, but played in high school and stuff. So, but my friends won't go with me that are serious golfers because I'm not serious about
Oh
stuff.
yeah, they don't like
I
that, huh?
think, yeah, as far as that, like, yeah, golfing's fun, but yeah, as far as that goes. So, and putt putt a lot. See, I actually like golf more than putt putt because when you golf, you can just hit the ball, slam it. Putt
And
putt, you
then
have
golf.
to, like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm like, oh, you have to focus on too much. So,
I
but yeah,
think that's what people really enjoy about different about golf too. Is kind of like the whole atmosphere of it is pretty, and they can kind of walk to get to the ball. Well, a lot of people use golf carts, but
you
it's
would be
not hard to
surprised.
walk.
Like people talk about being lazy, but if you're on a big golf course and you have to walk with your golf clubs, because you're going up and down hills a lot, it actually
Well,
wears
they
you
have
out.
caddies, right? That's why they have the people that carry it for them
Yeah,
on the.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Because when I started golfing, is also when I played football, and I think the golf started wearing me out more than just because you're not constantly walking and stuff. So yeah,
Right. Big yin is a term of endearment. Oh, okay.
like big one. So that's probably like us calling someone like big guy. What's up, big guy?
Yin
Yin, huh?
house plant.
That's
Storm has
interesting.
an aloe plant. We don't have a lot of house plants though right now.
Or
Maybe.
house plants, Jane. I have no clue. I've never thought of asking that. So, well, I mean,
Do you mind while you're answering that, I'm gonna run to the
yeah,
bathroom real
yeah,
quick.
yeah. I mean, being Jane is kind of like I mean, the monks in them wouldn't have house plants, but Jane monks don't have homes as far as that goes. Um, as far as householders go, I mean, I never thought to ask that. I think it's a personal thing. I mean, like some Jains will have pets, some won't. In general, in India, you wouldn't own a pet as far as that goes because you're not supposed to keep an animal. But then there's always a discussion, like in America or other countries, like, hey, like a cat can't be in the wild and stuff. If you take care of it, that might be as far as that. Um, I don't know. It's an interesting question about the house plants. I've never thought about it because we don't killing plants we consider unnecessarily not being the transplanting them. Well, I mean, I guess that would, I mean, from that aspect, I would guess I would say no because of the roots and stuff like that. So I guess you can get kind of in that. Now, if you grew a plant in a pot that wasn't going to get bigger as far as that goes, I guess as far as that. So, but once again, Jane householders is different. It's like some Janes do eat garlic and stuff like that because it's part of Indian culture. Like there's different levels of how strict of a Jain you are as far as that goes. I mean, the main thing is no Jains eat meat as far as that. And then the next step after that is usually no root vegetables. Then after that, no like vinegar, yogurts and stuff like that. So it's just kind of where you all are on your path as far as that goes. So, and then the dairy depends on that person too. So for me, I actually think the dairy is more important for me not to have the dairy than it is the root vegetables because the dairy causes more harm. So, but yeah, but a lot of those Jain traditions came back when things were different back in the day. So, and part of Jainism is about nonviolence. It's not just about tradition. So, as far as that, so for example, mushrooms one they debate about a lot because in general, when you pick mushrooms, it's off of a dead thing. But well, hey, what if you're growing mushrooms in your home? In a sterile environment, like things are so. Some of those different traditions in Jainism, when it came up, was well before they had to bring up the reason we don't ride in monks don't ride in vehicles because you're killing so many bugs. Pretty sure the main reason you used to do transportation because you didn't want to ride a horse. As far as that, like when they said you had to walk everywhere as a Jain, that was before cars were even invented. So as things change, you
Yeah.
have to kind of rearrange things as far as that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, many Jains monks and nuns, samanis, almost always wear them as far as that during festivals. A lot like in the morning when I'm doing my meditation and prayers, a lot of people on the Zoom are wearing masks, will wear it as far as that goes. Sometimes they'll hold it. So, but I mean, true, and depending on there's different sects of Jains, not sects, sects, of Jains, and it depends on what part you are of that. So, I mean, some monks don't wear any clothes. A lot of them, I can't remember the name of it. I call it a broom. It's improper, but it's to as they walk to move the bugs away. But that's when it's kind of the higher up you get, higher the closer you are to trying to burn off as much karma. Yes, you would wear things over your mouth as far as that goes. So, like the Samanese, typically when I chat with them on Zoom and stuff, they're holding something over their mouth when they're chatting with me. I'm trying to think in that video, is she holding
Yeah,
something over her mouth? Okay. As far as that, pretty
I
much almost,
noticed that. I was wondering if that, like, at first I thought it might have had something to do with like how in Muslim, like there's a covering over the mouth, but I realize now from talking to you, it's for a different reason.
yeah. So you don't kill things in the air from the hot breath and stuff. The vinegar thing, once again, that's kind of just depending where you're at on as a householder and stuff. Like some Jains don't use any vinegar because it's a fermented, and so it has multiple organisms in it as far as that goes. So, for example, that festival I did during that, the Teraponth, they're a little bit stricter. Some Jains eat yogurt even during that. Some of them don't give up the green vegetables and stuff like that. So, thing about Jainism is it's so, I don't want to say new, it's not a new religion. It's so unknown here. So when people hear about Jainism, they usually only know the most. It's kind of like learning about Catholics, but the only thing you know about Catholics is what the Pope does.
Right,
But if
right,
you're Catholic, you're not living like the Pope's living, as far as that goes.
right.
So as that goes. So in American Jains, when I say American, like first generation, like I actually next month have to do for my second book, Teraponth. I'm going to be taking the test through the Jains as far as that. And I think I might be like one of the first white Americans to be taking these tests as far as that goes. So they do kind of change. So Jains in America, first generations, they do kind of like rearrange things as far as that, because that's kind of how Jainism isn't, because we don't follow God, we're our own God, and we're kind of like what different situations, because true Jains wouldn't drive when it's raining. They wouldn't hike because there's more animals out as far as that. A lot of true Jains, not true Jains, I shouldn't say true Jains, strict Jains as far as that. Like, for example, root vegetables. I know a lot of people that, okay, my mother, now that she's in her 70s, gave up root vegetables. So they were Jain all their life, but once their kids are out of the house, they take a next level as far as that. Other people
That
like,
is so interesting. Like I never thought about that with the root vegetables. You actually got me thinking last time I was eating
yeah.
potatoes.
Well, and the reason we don't, like today they were talking about not eating after dark. Reason Jains don't eat, they stop eating 48 minutes before sunrise or after sunrise and sunset, is when it's dark out, there's more organisms in the air. So when you eat more things as far as that goes. Now, I'm not quite sure if that's because back in the day, the light drew more food in. So you probably eat more bugs and there's more of that. But if you're a strict Jain, there's a word for it. I can never say the Sanskrit or Persian.
45 minutes before dark or after?
Before dark, 48 minutes prior to sunset, and 48 minutes after sunrise. So
Okay.
basically, you want to be eating in between while the sun's out, while it's bright as far as that, because during the dark
Funny how
time.
those things, some of these things overlap, but for completely different reasons. Like people eat that way for like circadian,
Well,
rhythm
it
type
all
reasons
it
and
all connects.
digestion.
That's why a lot of this stuff, when people are talking about intermittent fasting, all that stuff, I'm like, this is stuff they've been doing in
Right,
Hinduism,
right.
and Buddhism, stuff like that. And it's kind of the same thing, but they don't over explain it and do a YouTube channel about it type thing as far as all
And I
that goes.
think if
Yeah.
we look at like naturally some of the stuff we did before a lot of the modern conveniences, like, like if we think about it like that too, like you said, you have to adjust your life based on
Yeah.
what we didn't have light at some point. So people probably may have been eating in the daytime because they wanted to be able to see what they were, had collected and what they were eating. So it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
interesting.
and Jainism is also about burning off, doing least harm as possible, burn off karma. You can't really, there's not true sin in Jainism. Like, for example, there's not a separate God. What it is you're trying to get your pure soul is good, it's all goodness, and you're trying to get your true knowledge. The less harm you do, the closer it is. So if you are eating at night, which I do sometimes, I mean, as far as that, it's not like it's a sin on me, it's just adding more karma to me. It's basically slowing down my path to enlightenment as far as that.
Mhm.
That's like nuns, they have stricter like that, and they're closer probably to enlightenment. They may not get it in this life, but the next one, as far as that goes. So, and that's the reason, like, we will look up to and worship, like, not worship, but when we praise nuns or praise Lord Mahavir, we're not doing it to get blessings from them. They're on their own. It's just for us to motivate us, type thing. Like, we're not like in Christianity or Hinduism that we're trying to please a God. Basically, it's kind of like brushing your teeth. You can choose not to brush your teeth and your teeth might rot out. That's really just on you, maybe the people around you, breath wise. That's kind of how some of these things are. Like, by not eating the root vegetables, you're killing more things, which adds more karma, which means you're, getting to know your own true soul is going to take longer as far as that goes. So some Jains drink in America now drink alcohol. In general, it's not considered okay, unless it's your
I was
brains.
going to ask, is our self considered part of that? Like, if something is like alcohol, in other words, isn't as good for the body, does that mean the same thing? Like, are we trying, is a lot of that overlap, or is it also like how some religions are like your body is your temple type thing?
Well, this is where you get into, you want to be compassionate to your body, so you want to be healthy to your body. But there is, and this is the reason I really do step away from the whole food and that thing. But if you get too obsessed with your health, it's another obsession with your body. Like, a lot of people will talk about, people are obsessed with food, fatty food, stuff like that. But then if you're only obsessed with only eating purely healthy all the time, as far as,
Mhm.
that's kind of the reason why I say I'll never want to be pure any of that, because it takes so much mental stuff and mentally takes you as far as that goes. So yes, it's all connected. In Jainism, everything's connected as far as that. So you're trying to eat health, but we wouldn't put our body's health before our spiritual health as far as that.
Mhm.
So for example, like a lot of whole food, plant-based people, if all of a sudden all the science showed you the healthiest way to eat would eat meat, they would quit doing that. Where a vegan wouldn't do that. In Jainism, health, your body health, your spiritual health is more important than your body health, but your body is what carries you, so you want to take care of your body for that spiritual path type thing. That's where I try to find the happy medium. Like, with me, I need to get healthier, lose a lot of weight for my own spiritual gain. When I was 100% raw, I was healthier, but I spiritually went off the path because I became so obsessed with being healthy and skinny. I actually lost my spiritual path. Like, you got to find that balance and stuff. That's why it's important for me not to get too deep into the health aspect of it, because then you're just worried about getting the perfect, most exotic fruit from each thing, the most nutrients, that stuff, and you're kind of missing the point when you become too obsessed with that. Like, it's just another form of obsession with, junk food's not good, unhealthy food's not good, but obsession with just your body, is not good as far as that goes. So, and it is, yeah, finding that happy medium, and it's a personal, and that's the reason I call myself Jain. It's not, I'm studying under Teraponth, but the reason I take the name Jain is a personal thing, and my whole thing is learning to know my true self. I believe everything has a soul; it's a pure good soul. We're all on the same path as far as that. In Jainism, there's so many different sects and stuff, like SECTS. I always like to specify. Sounds like I'm saying SEX sex, which is not what I'm talking about.
Right.
So I haven't really committed to one in particular. Teraponth, the reason I'm with them is those are the nuns I've met recently, and it's the closest to kind of what my personal belief in Jainism is as far as that goes. So, but some Jain don't believe women can become, or like that as far as that. The white cloud, we don't believe that as far as that goes. Like, we're, as far as that goes. So yeah, and in Jainism, just like every religion, from the beginning in Jainism, there's been so much culture. There's so much Indian culture that has gone into the religion of Jainism. Same thing with Christianity. So much stuff you see is from the Dark Ages. A lot of stuff are saying this is what Jesus did. No,
Right.
none of that crap was going on when Jesus did. It came many years after that, as far as that. I mean, even Christmas, Jesus wasn't born in December. That was just a date we picked. There is no date in the Bible as far as that. There's nothing holy about. I'm not saying Jesus thing. I like Jesus. I follow the gospel. I believe in the gospel. I'm not at all. I totally believe he existed and study that. But in reality, he was not born in December. It makes no logical sense. If the shepherds were in the field when he was born in December, they were crappy shepherds because they froze to death. As far as that goes, the reason they do it in December is in Persia, one of the kings that was Christian married a pagan woman, and at that time to merge it, and they wanted to celebrate, the solstice and Christianity at the same time. So they said, hey, if we want to celebrate Jesus' birthday, why not put it on this date? Henceforth, Christmas is that day, as far as that goes. So, which is fine.
I don't
As
have
far
a
as
whole
that.
lot of experience in it. Would it have been cold though, where people supposed to be born?
It would have been colder there. It's just if you want to get into the dates of it, most likely they say it's April, just because if you look at the Jewish traditions, the reason there have been so many people in that town and stuff get into it, most likely have been April, that time of the year. Shepherds wouldn't have been in the fields, stuff like that, as far as that. But there's technically nothing in the Bible that even mentions when he was born. Like, I mean, he could have been born December, but they're just assuming on all the things going on in Jerusalem at that time, and most likely was this time of year as far as that goes. So, but because there was no like that, and that's why we now have Christmas trees. That was because when they are celebrating the solstice, because right now religions has actually separated. I mean, but a long time ago, religions mingled a lot more than they do now. Like, it wasn't as crazy. I mean, back in the day, a Christian marrying a pagan wasn't crazy as big of a deal. There wasn't that split off. That's why the devil looks like a goat, because they were trying, that was actually a pagan god, and they were trying to make him look bad type thing. So yeah, that's why we have the rap on Easter Bunny type thing as far as that. So, and I don't say in this saying, I'm not doing the Christianity is not real and this proves it fake at all. Not at all. As far as that Christianity is real, but some of the things that we cling to wasn't around. Jesus would be like, what are you talking about? I've never heard of that. Easter Bunny. What's that about? Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, he'd be like, that's cool. If that makes you happy. Is I have no clue.
Yeah.
You were bringing Christmas trees in. Like, I mean, there's no reason to get too hung up about it.
Some of it has been developed as commercial, usage,
well,
right?
and then the commercial aspect.
Menu doesn't. She must be. She doesn't like this conversation, or she wants to put in her 2 cents. I think.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think she just wants a treat.
Say with that is Jainism the same way. Like the Jain temples and stuff, that probably wasn't the original Jainism. Like, we probably didn't have statues and stuff. That kind of came about more when like the later in, when with the Hindus and stuff, went their temples and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Depending on what Jains you talk to, stuff like that, there's things in Jainism that probably wasn't original part of Jainism. As far as that goes. So yeah, but yeah, that's a tangent.
Very interesting. What I especially that entire, like, one of the basis though is they don't eat meat, which is an interesting part of that religion, which is what sparked initially my attention in it. And then I'm like, wow, I'm hearing so many other things when you talk about it. So thanks for sharing that, because we don't hear a lot about that particular religion.
Yeah, well, I mean, the main basis is nonviolence. Like, the less harm and death you cause to the world, the better. So, I mean, strict Jains won't walk on grass. They won't swim in water, like, as far as, in that. But we also, mentally, where you at is a big thing as far as that goes. So, I'm an American.
Takes it off of like, it takes your mind to, like, I feel like every year that I've been following this spiritual journey, I feel like it started out, there was a basis of it when I went vegan that kind of opened my mind to a lot of spiritual realms, of course, things I didn't realize outside of myself. Like you said, like animals, you start to realize the thing, and like other things along the line. So like you said, there's levels of it all the way up until not walking on grass. But I'm sure, like, there are, like you said, that's the very high level, or people who choose to practice it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I know some Jains that eat every other day as far as that.
Hey, Diana.
Hey, what's up? That works. Yeah.
You're here. However you get here, any of our channels, that's why we run it on all of them.
All works, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I went to a Sikh temple on Sunday before the Veg Fest. That was cool because I went to a grocery store in Bellingham. Get up there often. It's one of the few places I can get some vegan, not vegan treats. You can get those anywhere. Indian treats, because there's not a lot of Indian like that big store. And the dude, I was chatting with him. He's Sikh. He's like, oh, you should go down. They have food at the Sikh temple. So I went down there. I didn't grab any food, but it was really cool. I got to talk to them. I'm going to do an interview about the Sikh religion, which I kind of know. And their Sikhs also vegetarian most of the time. It's very nonviolent as far as that. It's a really cool religion. So I don't know how I got that tangent. Oh, you're talking about spirituality. When you start studying different religions, most of them are very based in compassion as far as that goes. So yeah, and what was that video you're talking about? That book, the uh,
Agreements.
four agreements. That's it's funny you brought that up because that's kind of like the first book that not to put in, but we even sold at the Raw store type thing. Like the Four Agreements is kind of like your first pamphlet into philosophy and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I shared a page with you that Angela shared with me, a 6D Living, I think it's called. I invited you to it too, but that's where I saw that. They shared it on there, and they're doing like a group surrounding it, like where they're going to meet on Thursdays in sometime in December, I think. That's what brought it to my attention. So I listened to it and I sent it to Dawn because oh, she said, Diana said, I have the book on Kindle. I haven't read it yet. It's interesting, definitely. It reminds me of The Secret and that type of movie. If you've ever,
yeah. Well,
book,
The Secret's
yeah.
a book too. So before as a movie.
Yeah, I said book right after a movie.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear it. Sorry.
I
Yeah, yeah.
saw the movie first before reading the book. But you were mentioning that you would prefer the book on the Four Agreements, right?
Well, I always recommend any of that doing the book first because you're not influenced by it. Even like the videos will kind of as far as that goes, or at least do the audio book. Like I feel like whether it's the Bible, the Quran, the Dharma, the Four Agreements, any philosophy, it's better to start off and not even do it as a group at first, reading it on your own and then coming and discussing it type thing. Because even like the videos and stuff, nothing against the videos, but even seeing that, that's already going to start you're not going to have as open of mind as far as that. You're already kind of being with the music and with that's already kind of like, and I am very pro the Four Agreements, but I think it's really like in Chicago, we would do a lot of book meetings. And when we read the books, everyone would read it separately, read the whole thing. We'd come together as far as that and just kind of discuss it, which Diana, if you want to discuss, that's one thing I thought about when I'm doing the tea, when I would do my group tea with Lee, I thought about going back when I was like 24, 23, first got my spirituality, rereading like the Dharma, Bhagavad Gita, the Four Agreements was in that. I think about seeing people be interested in. I don't want to do a book club because there's always one person that leads it, but having people that might want to read it and just discuss it type thing. That's something I really missed about Chicago when I was there. Like I had a nice group of people of different religions, and it was no one knew more than the other, and we have an open discussion type thing. So, but the Four Agreements is really nice because it's a pretty quick read. It's not too heavy to get into. In philosophy, I would say Four Agreements, the Dharma, and the Tao are good ones to start off with because they're pretty quick reads. Not saying like that, and they're pretty easy to kind of grasp your mind around.
I just put the link out. I probably have to wrap up in about 15 minutes
Yeah,
or
I should
10.
get going too.
But if anybody wants to jump up and say anything or come say hi, I don't think I ever pinned the link to the top. I don't know if anybody wanted to click it, but just in case, um, just let me know and we can say hi. Tell us if you've read the agreements or anything you want to discuss. But I really definitely have enjoyed another episode of this. We sort of like just have like we don't have like plans for this. We have general ideas of what we wanted to talk about, but it seems to always take its own what's the word I'm looking
Yeah,
for?
because we were talking about movies. Yeah, we never did get around to Lars and the Real Girl.
Maybe we'll save that for next time if it works out.
So you don't watch many movies, or do you watch much TV? Like when you're not doing raw food or vegan stuff, what do you do for entertainment?
Um,
Like, do you have any podcasts you listen to that's not revolved
so
around it?
like we watch movies, but I haven't seen any new movies. Like sometimes we'll watch like an old favorite if we watch a movie, or like maybe we'll just
Well,
sit
that's
and
what I mean.
talk
Have you watched a
and
movie
like
lately? I don't
you
mean like
know
came out type thing.
Yeah, honestly, well, in the summertime, we might, if we have some downtime, we'll go to the beach or, do something like that. But we used to watch a lot of TV because Dawn had an actual channel that was a reality TV channel before she got into the stock trading. But honestly, I don't really watch things outside a lot of nonfiction. I just pretty much watch a lot of things. I'll watch like growing um whatever it is, growing food or different channels like that, but I don't really watch a whole lot of entertainment channels like on on YouTube.
Do you
But
listen to
I do
podcasts?
not that has anything other than to do with like health and wellness type things.
Oh, okay.
Like that's how I just discovered YouTube. I used to listen to music on YouTube, but then once I got in the kind of, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now, I kind of like, it's kind of like a community. Like you said, I like jumping on people's lives and things when I do have a little
Yeah,
bit of
yeah.
time.
No,
But
I was
other
part of
than
that. I was saying I used to be really deep into it. That's where I
what do you
met.
listen to? What are you recommending for a
Oh,
different?
I was just asked, like, I mean, podcasts. I mean, Flophouse, Two Old Queens. I mean, I listen to a lot of the, you know, plant-based podcasts and all that stuff. So, but that's the thing. I have 80 million places to discuss it. I mean, Diana knows I'm on all of it, from the physicians committees and Kathy's and stuff. So I'm actually purposely trying to narrow it down and pretty much just be on your stuff, maybe Kathy's stuff. And I kind of want to get away from, basically, when it comes to whole food, plant-based and stuff, I kind of only want to just focus on my certificate, which I need to talk to Diana about, the T. Campbell nutrition certification, as far as that, and I do the book club too. But even after this book, the PD club, like, I think we'll probably do Dr. Etsy's. I like to do Dr. B's. Actually, I don't care now I think about it. What they like doing a lot of health books, and I think the next one I'm gonna have them do whatever they want to do, but I'm not going to worry about reading it, type thing, as far as
Mhm.
that goes. So, because I think I get too wrapped up in it, type thing. So I'm purposely trying to make myself be like, okay, I need to read some comics, read some manga, like, get out of that whole thing, because I get too obsessed in it, type thing. So as far as, because, like, yeah, the whole aspect. So, but no, podcast, if you want something fun, Two Old Queens is a fun one. As far as that, they're two gay comedians. They have different people on, and they try to figure out what's the gayest movie, as far as that goes. And it's kind of fun. They'll talk about the movie and stuff, but it's cool to have a lot of, like,
Mhm.
different comedians on and stuff like that. So,
That sounds funny. Diana said, yes, we need to get together for our certification sessions.
are you going to the live class tonight, for the Blue Zone on the T. Campbell, Diana? And I think, is it tomorrow or the day after? It's in the whole food community. There's a meet the teachers or whatever type thing. You can talk to them about it, type thing. Which, it's always crazy. I expect people to reply to me quickly, so, or I can send you a message after this, type thing. So, are you in the CNS kitchen at all?
Oh no, I keep forgetting that I finally got in the heartbeat. I forgot to go in that one. I'll
Yeah,
get on
well, the
there
kitchen,
today.
and then there's the whole food community, and the whole food community is all about just people that do the coaching and all that type thing. And then also, like, it's not about the recipes, it's more about that aspect, a little bit more of a deep dive into it, as far as really a lot of the discussions you probably watch on YouTube and stuff, but people get deep into it. So,
Yeah, I definitely enjoy hearing different perspectives and different groups. I love connecting with like-minded people. I always, every group I ever go in, I meet like I see a lot of people in there, but I always end up really deeply connecting, it seems, with one or two people that kind of either come join my channel or I join theirs, or I'm able to have like conversations with or share their content. So it's cool. I definitely love the community that it builds, on those types of groups. Especially like now there's a lot of things like, I don't know if CNS Kitchen is that an app other than Facebook, or is that like a Facebook group?
well, they're not on Facebook. It's part of the T. Campbell Institute. And then
Oh,
they have different that, but then you can get the Mighty app, kind of like the Heartbeat app, as far as
oh,
that.
Mighty. Okay, that's what it was. That's
Is
why I
the
was
app,
asking. Like, yeah.
but the actual website is, you just go to the T. Campbell or that, and then they have, like, everything from that, and they have a community page, and then you can go to the community, and then in there they have food journaling, Thursday, weight discussion. They have daily challenges, daily discussions, recipe swaps, as far as that. Chef is ran by Sharm and Chef Dell. Chef Dell is the guy that wrote the original Forks Over Knife cookbook, as far as
Mhm.
that. I'm sure if you watch Chef JJ, or not JJ, that's you, Chef AJ, he's good
Yeah.
friends with her, and you'll see him on there quite a bit.
Oh,
So,
that's Cool. I like that too because it also, for people that don't like to really be on Facebook a lot or social media, it takes it out of that. And that's why as soon as I get financially able to, I'm going to restart my school account and start that up, and hopefully have that as my platform, I think too. So hopefully
Yeah.
we'll be able to move to that. I didn't like the teams. It didn't work out properly. It seems like I'm always landing back on Facebook. So.
But yeah, I would, if I was you, I would check out the Whole Food community on there for sure if you want to get into that because that's all that's set up with coaching and stuff. And yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, or just hop on, just go to the T Campbell Nutrition website and go to our community. They're both free, and you
Mhm.
can look at them. As far as it's not, that's saying it's not so much like Heartbeat, but then once you're on it, then you can download the app, Mighty app, which makes it easier. Sort of like Heartbeat, you can go on through the website or
Mhm.
you can download the app. You don't have to have both. So, and I think a lot of people don't do the app. I'm all about apps because I think they're easier. So,
Diana said to send her a message because she's been out
yeah,
of town,
yeah,
and Marakita has to run to get supper. Thank you for joining, Marakita. Thank you, Diana, for jumping in. Carl, thank you for all your amazing questions and comments. Just in case of before we wrap up, I don't want to forget to thank everybody. Philip, thank you so much for being here. And I think I got everybody that I remember. Did I miss anyone? Lee, thank you too
oh
for
yeah.
having
Well,
a
thanks
little
for
show.
that. Yeah, no, I think you got everyone. Philip, Diana, MQ. Yeah, that was it, right?
The crew, the gang. Now we have a little community here. I feel
Yeah.
like a core group. When there's 2 million people watching, we'll be like, I remember when it was just MQ. No, just kidding. Never know though. Could be. You never know. I don't think even I've ever seen anybody with 2 million people in a chat. Now if we get there, that might be
Yeah.
something else.
Maybe like you get 10
Might
people in the
blow
chat.
up YouTube. There's too many people on there.
Yeah, anyone on here? I still haven't figured out when I'm going to do the tea with Lee thing, but that's going to be more of a. Actually, kind of did a serious discussion today, but it's going to be more of a in-depth discussion. I probably will talk more about philosophy stuff. I haven't decided quite what it's about and politics and things like that. So if anyone's interested, let me know what time you think that'd be good. I'm debating on maybe Sundays or Tuesdays. I want to make sure I don't do it the same day you're doing anything. So
Any
yeah.
Sunday is good. I could join probably as far as listening in on Sundays. I'm off Sundays, so yeah, that would
Well, I
be
was
cool.
kind of thinking I get done at 3 o'clock, so I could be home and do it. Well, I wouldn't be able to do it till like 4 or 5 on Sundays. But yeah, what about Tuesdays? Are you doing? That's what I was asking. Are you doing your trivia on Tuesdays?
Yeah, but that would probably be way earlier than you would do anything because I go in to work at 11, so it would be literally like probably 9 or 10 my time, which would be 7 your time, as long as you weren't thinking of doing it that early.
That or during the week? Yeah, I haven't decided what time I'll do. If it should be earlier or later. Yeah, honestly, after 3 o'clock, my brain kind of
It's not
is.
imperative. I didn't even start that show yet, so go ahead and plan yours, and then I can plan
Well,
accordingly.
I might now also be picking up since my work's changing. I'm losing 40 hours, but I might pick up a 5 hour shift on. Oh no, that'd be Wednesdays. I'll figure it out as far as that goes. So, all
We'll
right.
figure it all out. Anybody else have anything they want to say, or Lee, you want to say anything in closing for
Nope.
us?
It's been fun. Maybe next week we'll talk about movies and stuff like that. So, all
That
right.
sounds good. Come prepared to tell us what your favorite movie is. We had a couple in mind that we like to talk
Oh, I thought
about.
you were asking me. I was like, I have too many. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know, right? We'll be here for another two
Movies,
hours.
music, books, uh, manga, comic books, as far as that goes. So yeah, that's another thing. Real quick, I will throw this in. I met someone at the Veg Fest that does D&D. I thought about it might be cool to do like a Zoom D&D as far as that goes. So that might be something else to chat about, like doing a D&D type of live thing as far as that. Like he'll make up, like you can tell him as far as that, he'll make it up. It could even be like a vegan oriented D&D stuff
Is
like
that
that. It
Dungeons
could
and
be
Dragons? Is that what you?
zombie that well D&D I'm saying generically, it doesn't have to be knights. It's basically that style type thing as far as that. So even I thought about talking, Tiffany, who did that book, as far as
Mm-hmm.
that goes, you could almost do a D&D based off of her book, like that, those type characters and stuff. So something else I thought might be fun and interesting. So but all right, cool. All right.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Appreciate you joining, and we will see you next time on here. Enjoy your evening, everyone. Thanks, Lee.
All right. Thanks. All right. Have a good
Sure.
day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.